Hello everyone. I may be live, but I'm waiting. Got to do one more thing here before I start talking about today's Monday Motley Mystic Moment. All right. Hey everybody. I do appear to be live and on both YouTube and Facebook. It's an exciting day here at the Monday Motley Mystic Moment, Motley Mystic Monday Moment. One day I'll figure out exactly what I'm calling these things. So today I wanted to talk about, I've got a few notes that I'm going to refer to, but I'm going to try to off the cuff this thing, and just see what God has to say. But what we're starting with, our starting point today for our Monday, our Motley Mystic Monday moment. Let's just call it that. We're going to start with a Course in Miracles lesson, which is lesson 264. And it is a very simple statement that I believe can change our lives. I have been using this myself, this statement, especially when I go into things that I find might be challenging or where I find things that might be frustrating, like, I don't know, calling the water department or something like that. This is what Lesson 264 from A Course in Miracles says. It is the idea for this daily workbook. I am surrounded by the love of God. I am surrounded by the love of God. And for a while, I didn't really kind of get that or how important that might be to say to myself, I'm surrounded by the love of God. Well, I have come upon a few instances here recently where saying this to myself has really made a difference. Like I said, if calling a government office, calling some customer service thing, you say to yourself before you start, I'm surrounded by the love of God, and that sets you up to believe that whoever you connect with on the other side of the line is also surrounded by the love of God. And so whatever transaction you have with this other person, whatever, however things are working out or what you're talking about, you understand that there's a perfection going on, that you are both surrounded by this amazing love of God, and whatever issue you may be having, whatever problem you're trying to solve, that other person in your mind is there to help you, is there to make this situation resolved in the best possible way. And I have discovered that this is absolutely true. I have called customer service areas, customer service representatives, and I've had delightful conversations because I tell myself, I am surrounded by the love of God. This encounter is going to be one of love. This is an encounter that is going to be not challenging. It's going to be easy. We're going to solve whatever idea or issue or thing that is going on, and we're going to do it together, and this person is in it with me. Now, sometimes you can say, I'm surrounded by the love of God. I am surrounded by the love of God. And try to get in your mind that the other person is too, but it can still be challenging. And I realized recently, or just yesterday or the day before, that I still have this grievance that's going on. I had a guest in our Airbnb who obviously was having their own issues in life. They had come there for a week and we're going to work from home in our Airbnb. And I got a call from them that the internet was down. And so I called the internet company. Yes, there was an outage, and I told them, when the company said the outage would be resolved, and that's that's the extent of my power over the internet company. And then I heard from them that the air conditioning was not working, and some part of the house did not have power in the kitchen and in the living room. And so I called the HVAC folks, called an electrician, a friend who can do some electrical work to come and look at this. And within the day, both issues had been resolved. And then this person, they had been frustrated by this. Of course, you're in an Airbnb and things are just not going the right way. I felt I had been responsive as I could be, and but they wanted to end their stay early and have a refund of some money, and I agreed to that. Of course, I mean, these things have been very inconvenient. And then I heard from them later and telling me that they wished they had asked for more of a refund, I guess, because of things that had been going on in their life. And my ego was immediately I am not responsible for whatever's going on in your life. You know, if you're that, but this proves so much about what it is, how our inner life reflects on our outer life. That if there is chaos and feelings of victimization, and you know, you're going to create chaos and victimizing circumstances where you're going to feel like the victim. So I am still trying to release that, but in that moment, I remember thinking, I am surrounded by the love of God. And I went to this place in my mind where I tried to add her to that as well, to bring her into this space. We're all connected. We're all on the same plane, out on that field out behind, out beyond right doing and wrong doing that Rumi talks about. We're all in that universal field of consciousness. And that was where I was trying to meet her with some manner of success and some manner of not having some success. And the fact that I still have a bit of a grievance about it, that just shows I haven't fully accepted that the love of God surrounds both of us and surrounds this situation. And so when you get into that sort of a situation where, yes, I'm surrounded by the love of God, but things are still frustrating, it helps to remember another thing that the Course says, and that is, anything that is missing in any situation or relationship is what you are not giving. And so there was peace. There was obviously some peace missing in this situation. And it was up to me to give that peace. I'm not sure I did it exactly in the moment, but to rid myself of this grievance, to heal this grievance and allow it to pass through me, that's what I have to do now. I have to start bringing peace to this situation. I have to bring my awareness to this guest's grievances and know that it's all surrounded by the love of God. We are all surrounded by the love of God. And how would it change the way you lived? How would it change the way you move and have your being in this world if you really believed that every situation, no matter how challenging or frustrating or even how happy and joyful it might be, in every moment you are surrounded by the love of God. And I wanted to read some of this. I mean, it's repeated in the Course. Of course, the Course repeats itself all the time anyway, but there are many other ideas that talk about this. Lesson 348 says, I have no cause for anger or fear because you surround me. I'm surrounded by the love of God. Lesson 50 says, I am sustained by the love of God. Lesson 50 says, through the love of God within you, you can resolve all seeming difficulties without effort and ensure confidence. Tell yourself this often today. It is a declaration of relief from the belief in idols. It is your acknowledgement about the truth about yourself. And that is the important thing. If you remember that you are surrounded by the love of God, then you remember who you are. You are the love of God. You are surrounded by what created you, that love, that joy, and that peace. And I am surrounded by the love of God. This lesson 264 says, Holy One, you stand before me and behind me, beside me, in the place I see myself, and everywhere I go, you are in all the things I look upon, the sounds I hear, and every hand that reaches for my own. In you, time disappears, and place becomes a meaningless belief. For what surrounds your children and keeps them safe is love itself. There is no source but this, and nothing is that does not share its holiness, that stands beyond your one creation and without the love which holds all things in itself, which basically means that if you know that you are surrounded by the love of God, then you know that whatever is missing is something that you need to bring because you are the light of the world. So I invite you this week, spend every moment of your life reminding yourself that you are surrounded by the love of God. When the world might seem to be going to hell in a handbasket, remind yourself that the only thing that truly remains in your control is how you are reacting to the situation, what you are bringing to it. You can be mad, frustrated, you can feel like a victim, or you can breathe deeply and know that you're not your circumstances. You are peace, you are joy, you are love, you are surrounded by the love of God. Chaos is the ego's domain, and you don't have to live there. So that is my challenge for you today, my invitation for you to say to yourself, I am surrounded by the love of God. Go and read lesson 264 in the in the Course in Miracles workbook. You can look it up online if you don't have a Course in Miracles book. Just lesson 264, and just see what it has to say. Meditate on it. Think about it. And let me know how it goes for you if you approach every situation understanding that you are surrounded by the love of God, that everything is working out perfectly. And as Rumi says, the universe is rigged in your favor anyway. So nothing bad really ever happens, because it's all rigged, it all works together, and we are all connected. And you can find me over at the Motley Mystic. That is at motleymystic.substack.com. And of course, we have all of the free content, and something will be posted about this soon. And we also have some paid content, and the subscribers are reading my new book that is currently in the writing, called Living in the Great Wide Open. It's about how to keep our heart open in the world, how to realize that we are surrounded by the love of God and live out that true reality with a capital R. So thank you so much for joining me for this Monday Motley Mystic Moment, where I try to give you some tools to deepen your own spiritual growth, and we will do it again next week. And if you can subscribe to the YouTube channel as well, and there's lots of places to find me, and also check out JubileeCircle.com. I hope you have a great and wonderful Monday.